Hello and welcome back. I am finally back. My work did not slow down after Christmas, and then I rolled right into lightivation. From there I had to get my recap video done. I was working on a bunch of follow-ups, and then amidst all that I've been using every spare second to work on the product spotlight that I've been talking about. By the time you're seeing this, my videos with Casablanca will be out. I have had these fans for many months, but like with the cyan feature last year, I just didn't have a lot of time during holiday to work with them. I do appreciate the manufacturers who do send the products and allow me to get what I can done during that time. It's really helpful once I get past the holiday season. I've already got them kind of assembled and some of that preliminary stuff done. So that really allows me to just plow through once I get back from lightivation. This one was also obviously a double feature, so it's taken a little bit of extra time. I really enjoy doing multi-fan features, but it just takes a lot more time to get done. There's a lot of extra swapping around, a lot of extra B-roll to take. Anyway, I'm reaching completion with these, so I need to start thinking about getting them on display. Speaking of display, I'm just going to run down here. In semi-recent times, you've also seen these originals go live. At least one is going on display. I'm trying to decide what I want to do with them. If I want to do both of them, if I want to break it up a little bit between a couple of different display cycles. And these locations aren't necessarily where I'm going to put them, but I knew that the original here was going to have to come down. And then for this one, I just pulled down something else that was easy to come down, because for the interim, while I'm deciding what I want to do, it's much easier to store these on the ceiling than the floor. So just for reference, that's what's going on over here, and we will come back to it. Also, you're probably bound to see this Atticus sitting out again. A few months back, before I was really buried at work, I was playing around with a few experimental things. Eventually, I will also probably get back to that and fill you in on the whole plan there. But for the time being, I haven't had time to deal with this again, and it's just sitting here. So now in terms of the new section, I think I want to set Casablanca up in these two spots. I know I just got the Falcon put in here, and I do like this fan, but it's a little bit more on the basic end. And the Casablancas are a little bit more of a style statement that I'd like to position right at the forefront. The Casablancas also have that new retuned low speed, so they're going to be a little bit more aesthetic, which I would also like to put at the forefront. So I don't know how far I'm really going to get here, because I don't necessarily want to put the Casablancas up yet. And I also have some other stuff I could do, but I think I'm going to do a little bit of prep at least. So it'll probably start with Alessandro Tropical coming down, and the Baron is going to come down as well. That'll open up a space to move the Falcon over there, and then these two spots will be open for whenever I'm ready. That'll still leave me a good spot for another 60-inch fan, and at least another 56-inch here, if not 60, just in trying to plan ahead and think about the products that I'm going to bring in for the year. So I'm just going to get started with pulling these down, and we'll see where that takes us. Alright, I've got these spots opened up and the Falcon is in over here. This is actually kind of the ideal spot for this one to end up in. It's one of the rare control systems these days that doesn't have memory when power is cut. It always defaults to fan off, light on. So with these two spots being on their own power and not on with the display, it's nice that it can just have constant power and I don't have to deal with that issue. So this is really all the critical stuff I was hoping to get done today so that I can move on the Casablanca stuff as soon as I'm ready. There's a slim chance that I may come back to something that I'll want to document later. If so, I will check in, but I've got some other things I want to work on, some things I want to move on to be studio ready for when Casablanca is done. So at least for now, I'm going to sign off and I will see you back soon. Hello, I am here again and I have a few things to catch you up on. I don't think I'm getting into much for new stuff today, but I wanted to seize the opportunity to at least get caught up. I've been working on some spatial things on and off and not really recording it, mainly because I've just been trying to make some quick progress, but I also don't really know how entertaining it would have been. Some of what we're going to see here is still a work in progress, so I will be continuing working on that kind of behind the scenes, and I can kind of keep it to more progress updates as things develop. So first of all, we can come back to this. I finished with the Casablanca stuff. Obviously, that's all been posted already, and then I desperately needed to vacate the studio with this stuff. Of course, it was all already assembled, so there wouldn't have been much to record in putting this up. And then if we come down from there, I got the last pieces of shelving that I had put together. I wasn't sure that I was really going to be able to do anything cohesive with only 2 of these shelves left. I figured maybe I'd just start this and then I could get some more parts once I figure out what I'm doing with the rest of the space if I need any more stuff. But I ended up being able to do more of these upright spinner boxes, which sit a little bit taller, and it ended up being pretty perfect for the components that I had left to use. With the other side, there's a little bit more wasted space than I would have preferred. There's always potential to shuffle things around more later and maybe find some stuff that fits better, but I also always have small pieces of memorabilia or accessories that I could probably stage and display on little extra spaces like this. So overall, I was pretty thrilled with how this turned out and that I didn't have to buy any more components for the time being. I think I'll be looking at getting components to make 1 more of these units so that I can do 3 across this section, but I'm probably going to hold off on that, try to get this area down here cleaned up. Then I can start kind of playing around with what I have and actually figure out exactly what I need to complete this. On that note, I did do some more cleaning up of that section, and as you can see, I condensed it all down again. With moving this stuff out here, I was able to move some more of that stuff into the back. You may have noticed these guys sitting up here. I kind of just have them there because I'm currently in the process of reworking this area. Those pieces were sitting down on a little table here under my Casablanca display, and we can get into what is going on here. So this is all coming down to functionality of the studio space. I've been working with and using my teleprompter for a while now. It's completely revolutionized how I do product feature videos, makes the production days go much smoother and way faster. The only problem has been physically utilizing it within the space. To really properly utilize a teleprompter, it should be set back quite a ways, and the workbench here used to be set all the way over to the end of this pegboard wall. So that was really all the further that I could set this back. The space was just really cramped. It was hard to get in here behind and actually operate things. I was like leaning over the workbench to get in here. So since I don't see my use of this changing anytime in the future, since it has been helpful, I figured it was time to reformat this to actually be more functional. Excuse the mess, I'm still in process of reformatting and really need to get this back under control, but you can see I have shoved this down basically almost all the way to the doorway. I'm still in process of getting the wall reformatted. Initially, I was not going to move this and keep it exactly where it was. However, with the positioning of this layout, I was thinking I'd maybe like to add some shelving or something here that I can utilize for some of the associated equipment. And initially I thought about just taking this down and eliminating it entirely, but I do like having it, so I made an extra little bit of room by shoving these cases over. And it's not wide enough to do the 2 bottom plates next to each other anymore, but I think this layout works well enough. I'll have to reprint my signage to put up here. I haven't entirely removed this side yet because I was kind of just living with this for a minute to see if I'm gonna like it. I think it's fine, it works, I get to keep it. It utilizes the space on the pegboard that I don't think I really would have done anything else with. So I will likely move forward with completing that. Going along with getting things cleaned up and organized on the workbench side, I've been working on getting this cleaned up and put away. This whole section had gone completely out of control, and I don't even know how I let it get so bad. So there's still more to do, but it's much better than it was. And then I think there's one other thing. In order to move this workbench over, I needed to clear off all of my spare ceiling fan motors on the bottom, and there was also a huge pile of portable fan motors, mostly box fan motors, sitting next to it. I have not really had a space or a storage solution for stuff like that. When I part something out, I usually just throw it on the pile here. And the stuff on the floor had to go either way. A pile on the floor is not a permanent solution, and I would like to utilize the storage under here for something more productive. So if we head on back, I can show you what I've done. I had these small wire shelves down here on the floor, not really doing anything, just holding some random spare parts. They're really narrow and just something I acquired because my parents weren't using them, so I didn't really ever know what to do with them. But they were actually perfect height for up in the crawl space. So now I've been able to pile them up with all these spare motors. It's not the most pretty execution and really not the most efficient either, but at least I'm utilizing space that I wouldn't have been otherwise. And then while I was up there, I reformatted some of this other spare parts storage and got some of my other stuff that had been sitting around down here worked in up there. So that was all good and time well spent. I actually think I want to get one more shelf like this. I've got a few more motors here I'd like to get worked in up there, and actually I can probably go through this again and pare down some of what I have. I have more spare Hunter motors than I can count. I don't think I really need them all. I know there's probably some in there with bearings that are worse than others that could definitely go. When I was sorting through this, putting them up here, I did actually go through and get rid of a few, but I know I can get rid of some more. I think for now that covers most of what I've done. I'm doing several different things with my time today. I may get back to some of this organization stuff if I have a few extra minutes, but otherwise that is it for now. I really wanted to get this update in so I could start editing this video and start seeing where I'm at for time. That aspect will really probably decide what I come back to, what I'm doing next. So at this point, not entirely sure what that might be, but I will see you back soon, probably to wrap this up. Hello, just popping in quick to close this one out. As mentioned, I have been editing, and this is a good point to cut this one off. And in doing so, I'll be able to get it up this weekend in just a few days. As you've seen in this one, there's quite a few things in progress, so I'm not sure what I'm going to be coming back to first in the next video, but there will be plenty to do. Remember to subscribe, ring the notification bell, and I will see you next time. Click left to watch another vlog, or click right for my entire shop vlog playlist to start at the beginning.